So it's post trick or treat, ended about 32 minutes ago. And we only got like 37 kids. Where we're located, it's kind of set back from the main road. And unless like you actually drop your address to let people know that you're handing out, they don't really come around here much anymore. We also have the townhouses up the street from us, so they go to that too, which I don't blame them. I mean, I did the same thing when I was a kid, but I trick-or-treated around town as well. But yeah, 37 kids, and I guess I could say 38 because with all the candy that we had left over, my 23-year-old got the leftovers. He was like, I'm not actually in a candy mood right now. He's like, but I will eat it then. So he left the basket downstairs on the table. I said, dude, you don't want to do that. I said, because the fat candy monster will eat it all. He thought I was talking about my mom. I was talking about his dad. I was like, nah, bruh. I was like, your dad will eat it all. If it is within his sight, he will eat it all and you will get absolutely none. So, God, it was a decent night. Honestly, it was. My mom had a good time. The kids all got as much candy as possible. Yeah, it was a good Halloween. Really was. The one little girl, my mom told me, she said, I want Skittles. I said, well, she knows what she likes. I said, give her Skittles. You can't fault little kids for, looking in the basket and being like, I want that. And she was just tiny, so I get it. Like, Aaron was tiny at one point, but he's not like one of those picky kids. But to be picky as a kid when it comes to Halloween candy, I kind of don't blame him. How many people out there remember going trick-or-treating and then going home and dumping their entire bag of candy on the floor? Not just so that your parents could check it to make sure there was no razor blades or pins or any of that shit, or, open or anything. You dumped it on the floor to sort it out, and what you didn't like, you gave to your parents. Why do parents always get the short end of the stick? Actually, no, I can't really say that. My mom used to get all of my Twizzlers. I was not a big fan of red licorice. I'm still not a fan of bed licorice. No, I'm still not a fan of red licorice. I think it's gross. So when Aaron would go trick-or-treating, like if he wouldn't want his red licorice, I'd be like, bro, your dad's right there. Give it to him. My dad used to sucker me out of, I don't know how many Reese's peanut butter cups, but if he took me trick-or-treating, he'd get his own peanut butter cups because everyone in town knew everyone. The parents got candy just like the kids did. Like the neighbors and everybody in town would like slide the parents candy too. And you know what's funny? We actually continue that tradition because if you're a parent, you're putting in the work just like your kids. So you should get candy too. I don't know how many parents my mom gave candy to. I know that she gave candy to the ones that were dressed up. And they were like, no, I don't need candy. It's just like, no, you're dressed up. You get candy. I mean, shit, yes, I do that. I did that when I lived in Hershey, because if you're a parent and you took the time to actually dress in a costume, you definitely get candy. So, but yeah, it was a really, really good night. And I've heard that Cumberland County changed their trick-or-treat night to tomorrow. I don't see why people are triggered by that, because let's see, it was about 4 years ago. We had a really nasty storm and trick-or-treat got canceled in my town. And they were like, well, we're not going to have trick-or-treat this year. Oh, hell no. A bunch of us adults said, no fucking way. Because in Highspire, yes, that's where I'm from. Now everybody freaking knows, and I'm sure that everybody who hates me, who, is in the magical community is going to start slinging shit my way because, they can't control themselves. Not cool, guys. Just don't do it, because I got a lot on my plate and I don't need this. But after hearing this, maybe you'll think a little differently of me than what some people like to put out there. So when Trick or Treat got canceled that year, a bunch of us said, oh, hell no, we ain't having it. Trick-or-treat is very big in this town. Halloween is very big in this town. There's actually old news articles where church people had Halloween parties. Yeah, that's right. Christians in our town had Halloween parties, and they also pulled tricks on each other. This is a town that was settled by 2 Germans. So, Halloween, very big. But like I was saying, if I could get my ass back on track, a bunch of us adults said, we're not having this. You're not going to cancel trick or treat. These kids, they deserve this. First of all, they were locked down with COVID. They had no trick or treat in 2020. So that's ridiculous that you're like, oh, well, we're just not going to reschedule it. Hell no. So we all got together and we got trick or treat back up and running. And that was literally probably one of the best Halloweens that this town has seen in a long ass time. But yeah. Trick-or-treat's huge here. Halloween is huge here. Now, we didn't get to have our typical Halloween fire that we do every year. Because it is a tradition in... excuse me. It is a tradition in the German culture as well as the Scottish culture. It's too windy. My hubby looks at me and he says... I know that we should be having that fire tonight. Him and Aaron had it all planned out. It's like, I know that we should be having that fire tonight, but with the wind, I was like, yeah, dude, I don't think it's a good idea either. So hopefully tomorrow night, the wind won't be blowing like crazy and maybe they can have it tomorrow night. It's perfectly fine to not have it on October 31st. It's not a big freaking deal if you have it November 1st, which with trick or treat, it's not a big deal if it's rescheduled for the next day. I actually, truthfully, don't know if Cumberland County just scheduled it on a different day than Dauphin County, but all of those people who are so bloody mad about it, think about this for a second. All of the kids from Dauphin County who may not have gotten to go trick-or-treating tonight can come to Cumberland County and go trick-or-treating. How is that a bad thing? Trick-or-treat's about the kids, man. It's not about the adults. It's really not. It's not about the adults at all. The kids. It's about the kids. So, let them have trick-or-treat tomorrow in the afternoon, in the daylight, where they can be seen highly visible so that cars don't hit them. Take it from someone who lives on a block that has one freaking street light. We all have to light up our houses and our yards so that these kids can see. And so that they're visible to everybody else. And like I said before, I live on a very busy street. So when we do our part, those kids are safer. I don't know if parents actually do the whole trick-or-treat lights on the costumes thing anymore, or the flashlights. God, does anyone remember the old black flashlights that had the jack-o'-lantern on the top? I actually still have one. Those were awesome. But they didn't really light up anything, but they made it so that kids were visible. Because if you're carrying that thing along and people in cars are just seeing this orange-ass light just bobbling along, if they don't see you in your costume, they know to slow down and let you cross the street. So those things were awesome. And I don't know if parents actually use those things anymore. And right now, I think my finger actually might have been on the... one of those nights. Maybe I need some candy. I don't know if my finger was just on the microphone, so half of that, if it was muffled, just ignore it. Oh God, I gotta clean off that dresser. Don't look at the mess. Yeah. So I hope that everyone had a very amazing Halloween. I hope that all of your kids have very sweet dreams. Tell them to put a piece of candy under their pillow for sweet dreams. But I hope everyone who went to a Halloween party tonight gets home safely. if you are too drunk to drive, hand your keys over. See if you can stay there or get an Uber. Have someone call you an Uber or have someone that's sober drive you home. But yeah, happy Halloween, everybody. Now my ass is going to just go to bed because I'm freaking tired. Good night, everyone.